This video is brought to you by Damascene Craft.
A helmet would be a first to get item for ancient Greek hoplites. Protecting the head, they are commonly regarded as the most important piece of armour a soldier could have. However, they were not simply worn on their own. When reconstructing the equipment and armour of ancient Greek hoplites, it's sometimes easy to get carried away with the flashy parts, like helmets, cuirasses, but something that's actually immensely important is what hides beneath these components. Hi, my name's Adam, I'm an ancient Greek reenactor and history enthusiast, and today we're going to peel back the bronze and see what was worn underneath hoplite helmets. When it comes to reconstructing armour, the bronze parts are actually the areas where we can be most certain about the authenticity. This is mainly due to the ample collection of artefacts we have available to us. But when it comes to organic matter, unfortunately it is far less likely to survive the tests of time, and hence we do not have many organic components which went alongside the armour. Though these may seem insignificant, the padding inside of a helmet is vitally important for the helmet being able to function in the first place, and equally as important as the bronze shell, just in a different way. Since we lack significant archaeological finds, we have to go back onto art examples such as vase paintings or sculpture, which seem to show a multitude of ways one might go about padding his helmet. Because we can only view these from an artistic perspective, it is impossible for us to say for certain what they would have been made from, and likely there would have been multiple answers to that question, but we do have some ideas. We see ways of padding from a simple cap to hats, perhaps most commonly depicted being the pilos cap, which became so popular that the later pilos helmet was modelled on its design. We do know that the Greeks used felt for certain hats, such as the pilos, Scythian, Boeotian and Petassos, and that brings us nicely onto the sponsor of today's video. For those of you wanting to get into Greek reenactment, you will really like what these folks have to offer. Damascene Craft is a craftsman dedicated to creating historically accurate and affordable items with a close eye for quality and accuracy. Open since 1913 and with a team numbering around 20 people, they use traditional old techniques that closely resemble those used by the ancients. All of the hats featured in this video are in fact created by Damascene Craft, and after practically using them at a multitude of events now, I can wholeheartedly recommend their work. I personally use one of their pilos caps to pad my helmet, and also find great use from their Petassos and Scythian. If you're looking at starting an impression or improving a pre-existing one, head on over to Damascene Craft on Facebook and get in contact with them. Their pricing is very reasonable and their quality is superb. You can find a link in the description, and thank you for sponsoring this video. Now, seeing as we know the Greeks did use felt for other hat-related objects, it's decently safe to assume that for some of these helmet caps, they would have also been made of felt. I do not personally own any felted caps, but something similar to this. It's a very simple cap, but it's decently effective. It helps lift the helmet up from your head, make it fit better, and also to an extent absorb blows. Don't let the simplicity of this cap fool you, for invariably simplicity is the key. A similar design to the felted cap would be a grass woven cap. Now, we do not actually have evidence for this in a specifically Greek context, but we do in an Etruscan context. In some Etruscan finds there were elements of a grass cap. Seeing as the Greeks and Etruscans were connected in many ways, we could also assume that the Greeks would have used this form of padding as well. Again, amazingly simple, but it doesn't need to be complicated. The construction method for these weaved hats would have been very similar to basket weaving. Now, looking at many depictions, we see the pilos cap being used as padding. Now, speaking from experience, these hats work great at padding helmets. They fill the shape of the helmet perfectly, and this, again, is made by Damascene Craft and is of a felted construction. Now, again, this hat became so popular that the later pilos helmet was modelled on its design and essentially just became a bronze version of its felted counterpart. This is yet another simple but effective way of padding a helmet, and also makes it fit better. Now, ideally, all helmets would be made to your size, but you would still definitely want that padded. Another rather intriguing hat that we see being used to pad Corinthians is a Scythian hat, commonly seen on depictions of Athena. Now, in all the depictions I have found, it shows the helmet in the tipped up position, and it works quite well at holding the helmet there. If you wanted to lower it, however, this hat is quite awkward, and I may go as far to say that it was not very common or only used by soldiers who wanted to fight with the helmet tipped up, similar to medieval visored helmets. Now again, this Scythian hat was also made by Damascene Crafts, and it is phenomenal. Now apart from hats and caps, we do also have written evidence of a type of sponge being used to pad helmets and other parts of armour as well. I have never personally used this, but I can certainly see how that would work. Now as for helmets being lined, we do have evidence for this, but as for the parachute design, which is commonly present in cheaper reproductions, we do not have any evidence for this in a Greek context at all. As with most areas of historical recreation, it is very rare that we get a concrete answer. Much is based on speculation and experimentation, which is something that scholars lack the ability to test. This is another reason as to why historical reenacting is a valuable asset to being able to understand the people of the past, for theory can only take you so far. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something along the way. If you would like to support the channel further, please consider subscribing and liking the video, and if you'd like to go the extra mile, please consider becoming a channel member. If you are looking at getting into historical reenactment, which I know some of you are, I do highly recommend checking out Damascene Craft for the hats. I use them a lot and they are genuinely really good quality. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will hopefully see you in the next one.